So happy May the 4th, 2025. I wanted to jump on here with you guys just to randomly talk about different topics that have um, come up for different reasons. And yeah, so 2025, we all enjoy Star Wars in different ways, whether you just strictly Star Wars EU, Star Wars Legends fanatics. I think that's a beautiful thing. We have so much content to enjoy, a lifetime of content to embrace and have gratitude for. Um, which I do really. And if you consume Disney Star Wars content, hey, all power to you. If you're getting new content and that makes you happy, that's a beautiful thing. If you're in the middle and you love both, hey, as Christopher Nelson always says, more Star Wars for everybody. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that's a positive thing. So I embrace positivity and want to promote that. And I wanted to jump on here. Yeah, first of all, first topic I want to discuss is the experience of enjoying the re release of Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith in theaters, the 20th anniversary. Amazing, priceless experience. I saw it twice in the theaters, once with my two sons, another time with my stepkid, and I would have watched it another time if it would have been in theaters longer. Definitely, just that whole experience of seeing it in a cinema, and amazing experience. Just took me back to when I saw it initially in 2005. So I'll backtrack a little bit since that's the topic. Revenge of the Sith. So between episodes, as you know, between episode 1, 2, and 3, there were 3 years gap, and I remember just feeling for like forever waiting for these movies. But regarding that, we had a lot of content that Lucasfilm was putting out regarding books and comics and games. So it kept us busy, kept us very busy consuming all this, and those storylines really contributed to the overall timeline of Star Wars Legends, Star Wars EU. So that even built the anticipation even more, buying these things as they were coming out, and finally seeing it, seeing the final movie. And that was a little bittersweet. I do remember that, sitting in the theater and just feeling pumped, excited, and wow, is this really happening? This is the final one. This is the last one. And it, to me, it just didn't disappoint. I just had a lot of emotion coming out of that theater, a lot of thoughts, but just feeling satisfied with the story, with the way George Lucas made it. And I remember that last scene, as you guys know, with the John Williams score and Obi-Wan handing off Luke to Owen and Beru and them looking off into the horizon, the twin suns. Beautiful, just a beautiful ending, and I loved it. And just seeing it once again just brought back all those memories, and very cool experience. So I'm just super grateful, first of all, um, that they decided, Lucasfilm decided to release it once again in theaters, and I loved that experience, and I appreciated that very much. Um, Also, talking about Star Wars Legends and Expanded Universe, if you're new here, I welcome everybody, whether you consume Disney Star Wars, whether you consume strictly Legends EU, or whether you're in the middle. Hey, this channel's for everybody, and I embrace all of you guys, um, no matter how you feel. But with Star Wars Legends, I wanted to bring this up because what inspired this topic was a conversation I had with somebody that went into my DMs, and they weren't very, how could I put it, pleasant, because I don't see how I can affect anybody with the way I think. Because first of all, I'm very confident in what I like, what I feel. I'm almost 50. I don't debate about things. If you tell me the sky is whatever color, I don't know, purple, I would tell you, hey, beautiful, enjoy, that's amazing, and nod, and that's it. I don't debate about things because it's not what I do. So I'm saying this because the topic of legends, because I do use that term a lot in my videos. Um, I know it's not embraced, and I'm not here to change anybody's opinion. I'm not here to try to do anything. I'm just talking about this because this happened very recently and kind of just out of the blue. So, if you have watched my channel, I use both terms, EU legends, and it's not to jab anybody or to nothing. It's just the way it is. Yes, we are on. Star Wars is owned by Disney, and Legends or Expanded Universe now is under that umbrella, whether we like it or not. They own this. And if you are upset about the term legends, I feel you. I understand you. I get it. I've been there. And the reason why I say that, I'll talk about it briefly, is when George Lucas sold Disney, I felt very, and this is not a job, sorry, this is not a jab towards anybody who loves Disney content. No way. This is just a personal experience, and I would say growth, and the way I see it. Um, I was very upset when George Lucas did that, but then again, first of all, I acknowledge this is not my company. This is not my anything. It's just something I'm a consumer, and it's something that affects me because I take it, a lot of us take it very personal because this is something that we spent tons of money on, tons of time, tons of emotion, just a lot involved. We put a lot of ourselves into this amazing timeline. And when they discontinued the EU content, that was a big, a huge blow, really, on how I felt, and a lot of people I know how they felt as well. And that was rough. That was rough. Just unbelievable that that happened. But I'm talking with time. Once the dust settled, I started thinking. I don't know. I started coming around to using that term legends because I thought, okay, I would see these books at the bookstore and just thought this was a complete. I hated it, and I'll be honest. I hated the term legends. I hated that they made us feel, or made me feel at least, I'll speak for myself, made me feel like this content was just kind of didn't really matter. We'll just slap um, term or a legends banner just to make sure that it's different from what they are, the new content that they're being that they're producing. So I just hated it. I couldn't believe it. It was like a slap on the face, and I could go on and on. With time, I started embracing it. I started using that term. Yes, I understand who gave that term. I understand what gave that term. I understand the circumstances. I get it. But, however, it's something that I came around to. I didn't plan to. It just grew on me. And the reason why is I thought one day, okay, you know what? This is separating us from the new content that's being created that some of us really aren't embracing, really aren't enjoying. This is a badge of honor to me as I see it. And that might sound ridiculous to people, and that's fine. That's okay. Um, you can take this how you feel, and that's important. That's what you feel, but that's my experience. I don't speak for anybody. This is just my thoughts, my experience, and how and when that term came about and how I felt about it. But definitely, I hated it. But with time, it grew on me, and I felt like it was definitely something that separated. And yes, I'm all about unity, but I'll explain that in a second. I felt it was important because that separated the two timelines, you can say, the new Disney content and the content that was created pre 2014. Now, term legends, okay, cool. We are separated because as we should be, as we should be. Just like there's so many different Spider Man comics, so many different Batman comics, they are separated in different timelines, and it's all good. And I thought, wow, this is a good thing. I always try to see, like, with time, not always right off the bat. I always end up seeing things with the glass half full. Once I let things settle, once I process the information and my emotions about it, and okay, okay, this is a good thing for me. Now, once again, this is, I keep emphasizing, this is my experience, and I felt very tired of being upset, sour, disappointed, and remember thinking, okay, I thought due to a certain movie that had been released. I was extremely disappointed and upset about that as well. I keep using that word upset, but there was a lot of upset situations, a lot of situations that I was a little distraught about and how things were handled. But I thought, wait a second, okay, I'm disappointed with this, but I have all this content. I have all these books, all these comics. I have this amazing timeline. It's not going anywhere. I own it. I have it. And I'll enjoy it the way I want to enjoy it. And that was the journey of that. And then I'm not going to get into detail. Some of you guys know certain circumstances that have happened recently, but I have had to, due to these circumstances, rebuy my whole EU collection. And I thought I wanted strictly with the Legends banner because that is something that identifies EU Star Wars Legends. That's I wanted everything with the Legends banner. I wanted to buy the omnibus collections. I wanted to buy the ELCs along with the mass market paperbacks that state Legends. That's all I wanted because I wanted something to be completely separate from the Disney canon storyline. So I just bought everything Legends, and that's my own personal journey, my own personal taste. And yeah, that was that. So my point is, I just was tired of just being upset and sour. And like I mentioned before, I'm just repeating myself, but I embraced it with time. That was my journey, and that's the outcome of that. So now I own. When I had to rebuy this whole collection, I own everything Legends, and I'm glad. In my personal experience, I'm glad that I did. So yeah, just wanted to discuss that. That my point, I guess, of out of all this, and I'm kind of rambling, is if you are upset about it's been what 11 years, 11 years since this has been discontinued, since this amazing, beautiful timeline that we embrace, that we so many of us love, have has been discontinued. There hasn't been really much content, new content, really. But looking at the bright side of things, we've had many action figures. Just even a Black Series collection. We've had this Mara Jade lightsaber hilt that that has specifically legends on it that was successful. We've had so many things reprinted. We've had talking about action figures. We've had an action figure that was announced, and the pre-order is sold out. And what does that say? That there's a market for this. There's a market for this. That we want more legends, and that's kind of what my thinking is. I would love, along with a lot of you guys that I've talked to, want more legends. And what I want for that, it's been 11 years. And speaking on that, and I'll cut it short after that, is it's been 11 years. And what I would like is for for storylines that I feel need a conclusion or need gaps filled, to just fill those gaps, to give us a proper conclusion. Crucible wasn't the end all as it should have been, but into the author's defense, he's even stated that, or it's been stated that this wasn't the intention to be the final one. Because remember, once this happened, they just cut everything. They canceled. There's been panels of upcoming novels that were going to come out that were planned. Authors booked everything that were just cut. Production of videos cut. We just want, or I'm going to use I say we because there's been people that I speak to on here as well that feel the same, but not everybody does. I'm gonna use I want, after these 11 years, which 11 years is a long time, would actually ask to just to to continue the stories that were planned, to fill in these gaps, to give us a proper conclusion. That's what I would appreciate. That's what I would love. I would be hyped about, whether it's an old author, which preferably one of the authors that were involved in Legends, or a new author that's under the new management, that is somebody who appreciate this prior timeline, somebody who really loves it and appreciates it, that can contribute. I would embrace that. I think that would be awesome, bringing somebody new as well, to give people who love this amazing storyline that Lucasfilm created, show some love to it. And I know we're throwing nuggets here and there with action figures, and re-release of video games that are under expanded universe Legends, re-release of novels and books. I appreciate the nuggets, but the more content, more new content is what I would like, and I that's all. Um, and I think that would be amazing. That would be beautiful. And am I expecting it? No, but I would love it. I'd be hyped about it. I would be completely out of my mind happy about that. But you never know. Never say never. Hopefully it happens. It's been 11 years. It hasn't yet. We did have Star Wars 108, which was a hit. Um, and I would ask the management or the ownership to, yeah, to continue this. Doesn't have to go on forever, just to give us more content that fills in gaps. Like I said, I keep saying that, but it's the truth. To fill in gaps, to give us a proper conclusion, that would be amazing. So happy May the 4th to all of you guys. No matter what camp you fall on, you're on here, you are embraced, and we all love Star Wars in different ways, and I think that's a good thing.